strategies, mindset, anything that's going to help us to increase the income of our business. 7 rules of money to riches. Rule number 1 is money is only a game. If money is only a game, win it. Okay, if you see right here, I have the Monopoly game right here. Okay, and if you were to realize that in Monopoly, there's going to be winners and there are going to be losers, right? So why is it that some people win in this game? And why is it that some people always lose in this game? Right? It's because of the decisions that they make. It's because they know the rule of the game and they outsmart everyone else. One of the biggest reasons why people tend to lose this game, right, is because they're holding on to their own belief that money is the root of all evil and money is bad for you, and that money and that they can't attract money. Money is simply a tool that we use to acquire something else, right? So money is just a store of value. It's all about value. So do not fall in love with that piece of paper. Just know that it's a store of value, and basically there are rules and laws that govern this, right? And do not fall in love with it, because that is the root of all evil. But money itself is not the root of all evil. So I just want to really purge out this belief in you. If you think that money is bad, if from young you've been taught that the rich people are always bad, right? I just want you to purge that thought out, because that's simply not true. Now the problem comes when all of us wants to trade time for money. If you want to make tons of money, you can't be trading like time for money, because time is a finite resource, right? And everyone has the same amount of time, right? But what you want to do is you want to look for something that you can exchange hands multiple times, so that you can break out of that entire cage of time. My second rule for money is you got to save at least 6 months of your expenses as rainy day funds. Now, first of all, what you got to do is to calculate how much money, right, do you spend on a monthly basis. Now, rainy day fund basically means an emergency fund, right? And in an emergency fund, what you want to do is you want to make sure that it's parked there and it's not conveniently accessible. Why? Because you do not want to be tempted to touch this amount of money, right? So before you do anything else, like invest in a business, before you want to change your job, before you quit a job, whatever it is, please at least have 6 months of expenses as rainy day fund. So rule number 3 is what I call paying yourself first, right? What you want to do is to pay yourself first, okay? And if you were to pay yourself first, then you have completed this rule. It's very simple. First of all, please know that it's how much you save, it's how much you keep, and not how much you earn that's going to make you a millionaire, right? Your millionaire status is made based on your net worth, how much cumulative assets, whether it is a long-term asset or a short-term asset, whether it's liquid asset or non-liquid asset, that's going to make up your net worth, right? It's not how much you earn. So you could be earning like $100,000 a month, but if you're spending like $99,000 a month, then you are going to be worth $1,000, right? So it's not how much you earn. So guys, please take note, right, that if you want to become wealthy, it's more of how much you keep, it's more of how much you save, right? It's more of how much you it's more of how much is in your entire asset pool. So what I do to pay myself first, okay, is to create 2 different bank accounts, right? The first bank account is for my personal spending, and the second bank account is for my investments. Okay, so it's 2 different accounts. So guys, this is very deliberate. You gotta be as deliberate as me, right? If you really want to build your wealth. Okay, so have 2 bank accounts, right? One of them is where your personal spending is, and that personal spending account is where you is where the income comes in, right? So if you have a job right now, that is where the income comes in. If you run an email marketing business right now, like right here, it's where your email marketing income comes in. That goes in your first account, right? The next thing you want to do is you want to allocate what I call a standing order. My rule number 4 for money is cash flow is king. Okay, it's not cash, right? To me, cash is not king, right? Cash is only king when there's an opportunity. Cash is only king when there's a crisis and you can invest into something and you can multiply that triple fold and all that stuff, right? Now, but cash flow is king. What do I mean by cash flow, guys? Cash flow means even if you do not do anything, you have cash coming into your pocket. That is what I mean by cash flow, right? It's not, it's not your income. I mean, it's not your active income, right? When you work and then, you put in 1 hour to get an hour of wage. That is not cash flow to me, right? That is a transaction, right? That is not pure freedom cash flow. That is basically you sacrificing something for cash, right? So the reason why so many companies go bust during this COVID crisis is because of cash flow. The cash flow is gone. If once you have no more cash flow, you can't pay for expenses. Am I right? Once you have no more cash flow, you can't pay for employees. You can't pay for your overheads. You can't pay for your logistics, right? Everything is closed. Everything is gone, right? Brick and mortar businesses will all be closed down because of cash flow, right? So during this time, their businesses are dying. What they want to do is really sell off their property so that they can liquidate that amount of money so that they can help their own business survive. And that's why, you get to pick up such a good deal in the property market right now. And that's also because and that's also why interest rates are falling, because no one's loaning from the bank. Everyone is just trying to really force sell their hard assets, right? Assets that are hard to move, assets that are not liquid. Everyone's trying to force sell those so that they get liquidity. So guys, if you have no cash flow, right, but if you have a lot of hard assets like properties, then what's going to be the problem? The problem is going to be when there's a crisis, you're going to be hit so bad that you are made to sell off your hard asset at a loss. If you can cover your expenses with your cash that's generated by your assets, you are financially free. So that's the main goal, guys. If your perpetual income, right, income is generating more than your own personal expenses, you are financially free, right? Simple as that, right? Simple as that. So I really want to just drill this point down to everyone that's watching this, right? So cash flow is king. Do think about how you can move into more recurring income models, move more of your business into the digital space, and also acquire some cash flow generating assets. Rule number 5, how much money you make is proportionate to how much value you provide. Simple rule, right? A simple rule of money, right? If you can provide tons of value, you're going to make tons of money. Is just how the law of money works, okay? So now, no one pays for a jack of all trades to teach them something, right? Everyone pays for a master or an expert to teach them something. So guys, be a master of one, right? Look at your own sub niche, right? Look at what is the sub niche that you are in, carve it out and go deep. Right? Carve it out and go deep. That is where your value is. The bigger problem you can solve, that's the more money you can make. It's just simple law of money. So guys, if you want to make more money, you solve a bigger problem, right? And how do you find out what are the problems that you can solve? Right? It's basically to identify, right, opportunities based on your own pain and experiences. Identify that pain, and that's going to be your opportunity. The next rule is leverage on debts. Leverage on the good debt and not the bad debt. Now, guys, understand that not all debts are bad, right? You need to know what's a good debt and a bad debt. Okay, clearing your credit card bills on time, 100%. That is 100% a must to do, because that's a bad debt. Because your credit card interest rate is like 24% per annum. That's insane. What you want to do is to focus on the good debt, right? And that means taking a mortgage, focusing on yourself, on education, taking a loan to run your business, to taking a loan to invest. Now, those are good debt. One of the fastest way for you to grow is to leverage. Now, not only leveraging on debt, of course, but to leverage on other people. Many a times, millionaires are created because they took on a good debt, right? And most of the time, whenever you want to really grow your wealth, you have to take up a debt. Okay, guys, so rule number 7, let money work for you. Now, compound interest, right? It's a ridiculously easy way to get rich. So guys, this is in terms of investing, right? Now, if you want to speed up, if you want to catch up, you got to invest more. Just know that the compounding effect has to work. It will work for anyone, but the key here is to start early. This chart basically tells us the compounding effect with a simple 12% interest per annum. So let's say, guys, if you put $10,000 as a principal into a fund or into a stock or into whatever it is that brings you a 12% return, okay, let's compare both, right? With compounding and without compounding, okay? With compounding, from year 2020, let's say, all the way to year 2023, without compounding, right? That means every year you are making $1,200, right? If you do not compound that, and let's say if you withdraw out all the profits every single month, right? Every single year, from year 2020 to year 2023, you would have made 1.2 times of your returns, right? But if you leave your money in there to compound, right, from the year 2020 to year 2020 to the year 2030, the compounding effect. So let's say you do not cash out, right? But every month you just keep reinvesting your money back, reinvesting the profits back, right? By the time you hit year 2030, you'll be up 2.1 times. I really want you to just digest this fact that the power of compounding is so powerful. You got to leverage on that, right? Keep reinvesting and reinvesting and reinvesting.